Thanks for having me here today. I'm going to talk about urban geomorphology and the optimization of human habitat because I think that's like what we think we're doing. I think city building. I'm not sure, but I've been doing some thinking about it. Um, you know, as a kid who grew up in the wilderness, go ahead. I've always sort of marveled that the collective genius of humanity. We take a place on the surface of a planet that sequesters carbon, modulates its own temperature, filters air, filters water. If you're in the tropics, you have to watch out because food is falling out of the sky and it can hit you on the head. And then we create this, and it immediately overheats and off gases before we even move into it. And it has an amazing amount of destruction that it takes to create the habitat for us. And we're just starting to learn some things about how it actually affects human health and performance. We've been stuck on buildings, and buildings are getting really good. Cities themselves are not performing very well. There's a lot of architects wandering around, some of them in this room probably going, buildings have gotten so great, how come cities still suck? I don't get it. But buildings are not what makes cities. Buildings are objects in cities. But cities are overheating. We heard that today already by 14 degrees in the worst cases. It's not a climate issue. It's an engineered problem. Before we had a climate problem, on average, every square foot of building in America overheated 7 degrees just because there was a city there. And that's how we've degraded the performance of the surface of the planet. So we're looking at a high-performance biosphere that we've just completely disacknowledged and created an engineered environment we thought was better that doesn't sequester carbon, that can't control its own temperature, that can't filter air, that can't filter water, that doesn't produce food, and that actually is destructive to our own health and wellness. And so as working for an engineering firm as an innovation director, especially in civil engineering, we know what the mechanics are. We know how greening cities can help. We actually know from different PhD work that having operable windows makes no difference if you don't have healthy air. And healthy air comes from organic, healthy soils and plants. And if there's no organic, healthy soils and plants outside, you're not bringing in anything good. You might be helping with your optimization of your building systems, but you're not bringing in anything good. So we're really trying to figure out how to engineer a better human habitat all around us. There is a piece of it. It's the biosphere, stupid. We can talk about stuff. We can talk about supply chains, which is really important. We can talk about architecture, which is really important. But at the end of the day, if we don't have an intact biosphere, it doesn't matter because we're not filtering air, we're not modulating temperature, we're not filtering water. We don't have the things we need to survive. And what our clients, many of whom are giant Fortune 50 companies, are learning is that their employees don't perform very well. And so a lot of what you're seeing here are projects that we're working on where we're trying to understand how to grow food on an apartment building that's 8 stories, how to put a 9-acre park on top of a water treatment plant, or how to have 48 species on top of a museum, or how to adorn a tech building or a transit center with real ecology, with high performance, biospherically integrated, independent, self-replicating ecology. And it turns out that makes people more creative. It makes us have less sick days. We put in longer days, and our performance is better. We self-report as happier. So at the end of the day, for me, it's come full circle because what we're really talking about is how do we make people happier? And we've been stuck on all of these metrics that have to do with technical things. And if we design for people, we design for the biosphere, and that's what we need to figure out. And I think it's an advanced form of geomorphology. We figured out how to make an exoskeleton. The high-performance skin, we're just getting there. And so that's my hope for the future. Thanks.